Good morning, good morning, good morning. Celeste's Silver Cord here, coming at you with some cards and coffee. Let's get something right in the way of my little crystal here. So I had a rough night. I don't know how these waves have been treating you guys, but come on. I know how it feels. I know how it feels, guys. I know how it feels to be constantly gaslit into arguments and then painted as the bad guy. I know how it feels to be stuck in between two other people's childhood feud constantly and their jealousy with each other. I know how it feels to, whenever you try to express a feeling other than elated happiness and sunshine and roses, to be told that, whenever I express a feeling of how I feel a certain way and I let somebody know that they're making me feel another way other than happy, I get told, well, I should be the one that's upset because this happened to me. And it's like talking to a brick wall. I know what it's like to be screaming underwater, guys. Trust me. I know how it feels. I have the answers for you. No, my eyes are all puffy because I cried all night last night. Because sure enough, I fell for it again. I got gaslit into an argument. And, painted as the bad guy again. And then anytime I tried to explain to anybody else how I felt, I got, well, I should be more upset because this happened to me. Or, I know how it feels. But that's why I love coming here and talking to you guys. That's why I like doing tarot readings. That's why I like seeking out people who are actually looking for answers and advice and will actually take it. It's important to me that you guys actually take the advice because no one in real life takes my advice. They just keep repeating the same toxic cycle over and over again. And they used to do it to my sister, and that's why she moved 13 hours away from everybody. And now they do it to me, and they painted the whole time that she was here as sunshine and roses. And I seem to be the only person who actually remembers. And I was cocky. I thought I would be different. I thought, I don't know. Fell for the same thing everybody else does. But you can't change nobody, man. Not unless they want to. If they want to continue the same toxic cycles until they end up alone and miserable in their own age and nobody even goes to visit them at the nursing home, there's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about it. It's sad because it's not that we don't care about these people. It's just at some point you just got to detach from them. And like I said, I cried all night, and you know what everybody will do today? Nothing was resolved. Nobody's going to change. And they're all going to act like nothing happened. And in a couple days, they'll just do it again. But the objective of each time it happens to you is to take that mental note and don't allow them to do it again. And it's a constant practice. Like I said, these skills may not be perfect. Mine aren't. I'm still working on them. Just keep trying, right? Nobody else will break the cycles, and you have to find new ways of breaking them. I am. It's the problem is I'm always, Ralph is saying that, let it go. I do. And the problem is if you always just let it go and you always just ignore that it happened and nobody ever goes back and actually resolves what causes all the issues, then how do you break the cycle? Because I don't want to be a part of their cycle anymore. So all I can do is let it go and then just refuse to engage with these people at all. And then, even then, I'm still painted as the bad guy. Then I'm the one that's distant or I'm angry or whatever. And I'm not angry. I just, why talk to people who can't hear you? And why stay in a place where you can't talk to nobody? I said, I'm going through the same shifts everybody else is. Morning, good morning. I am being bad this morning, guys. I had a very long, rough night. Like I said, good morning. I hope you guys all had a wonderful evening, more so than I did, but you know, can't be perfect all the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, you guys have such beautiful energy, though. It makes me feel so much better already. I love y'all. Y'all ready for some cards this morning? Let's see what the universe has to say about it all. Masquerade. Right? You got 6 here. To write a passage, guys. Discovering who's wearing masks and who's not wearing masks and being able to work through that. And doing your best to be your authentic self without wearing a mask yourself, because my tears last night were not for me. My tears last night was for everybody around me who's wearing a mask and who's playing a persona and who is constantly having to battle that judgment within themselves that they are not who they present themselves to be. And deep down, they all know it, you know. But it's important that we stand true in who we are and we don't wear masks. But just the same old, honey. I got the same people in my life that don't hear me, don't understand me. They get gaslit into arguments, then painted as the bad guy, even though it had nothing to do with me. It's somebody else's weird feud that they've had been going on forever. You know, we all go through it, man. We all have people like that in our lives. We got sacrifice here. You know, I sacrificed those tears for them last night, and they're all waking up this morning, and they're going to pretend like nothing happened. And my sacrifice will be I'll just have to let it go and go with the flow, and then recognize the fact that these people are going to insist on doing this cycle over and over again, and let go of the fact that I'm not going to be able to stop them from doing this to each other and to themselves anymore, and focus on yourself. You know, got to let go of the fact that, you know, for a lot of us, it's the people closest to us that we want to help that will refuse it the whole way. We have Vision Quest here. And this is all about focus on what it is you really need for your spiritual health. You know what I'm saying? The Spirit Quest is, you know, the book speaks about the desert quests. And the desert quest is where you take just enough food and water, enough for your weekend, and you go out into the desert alone and you survive on the bare minimum for a couple of days. And you allow spirit to talk to you and bring you visions, ask for visions and answers on how to resolve whatever these issues are. You know, the spirit quest for me would be going out into the desert and asking, should I just go? Do I need to just sacrifice what I thought I was going to be able to do here? And do I just go? Because right after that, we have unfoldment in the lotus flower. So I always say when I pull this card, lotus cannot bloom in a garden that was built for a rose. And if you're not blooming, you're in the wrong garden. You cannot unfold if the soil is not right for you. If you cannot dig your roots deep and nurture yourself, you will not be able to unfold. And that's what we've all been working towards. I mean, we've all pushed ourselves up through muck and mud, and then we've started coming through the waters of emotions, and it's all reaching up towards the sun so we can unfold in the sunshine at the top, right? And of course, like all flowers, we all have seasons. I have thought about not coming on this morning, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let people who can't hear me stop me from reaching the people who can. Good morning, Magical. I've been very blessed that though all my other light worker friends and all my other spiritual friends live far away, but they are always there for me when I need them to be. And that's what you need to focus on, you know. Just because some people can't physically be around you, focus on the ones that do listen. And, you know, they were more than willing to send me love and help me work through that last night with me. I'm glad I followed through, too. I feel better already. You guys are awesome. It's such beautiful energy. And I know you guys are going through a lot, too. You know, we're all dealing with how to deal with these people and toxic cycles and how to break them. But I like to let you guys know that, you know, yes, it all does get better. And granted, yeah, last night I was baited into all of that. But in general, 95% of the time I'm good at catching it before it gets out of hand. 95% of the time. But 5% of the time it still gets me. So I said, nobody's perfect, ever. Nobody's perfect. We're all battling our own demons. Wow. I got 3 5s down here, guys. Apparently I am not the only person going through all this lately. All right. You know that, well, my problem is that 5% of the time I do not have a long fuse. I have a very short fuse when it does manage to get lit. And that's what gets me in all my trouble. All right, so the 3 of Hearts here. And the 3 of Hearts is all about friendship and community, and that's really where your focus should be, is on those who do hear you and do speak your language and do love you. And it doesn't matter if you can be physically around them or not. If anything, this COVID and all this other crazy lockdown stuff should have taught us all by now is that you don't need to be in physical presence of people to connect with them on a genuine level. I've connected more genuinely with people online, just talking and just communicating back and forth and just sharing stories and stuff like that than I have connected with people in real life sometimes. 5 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups is, you know, loss and regret. And like I was talking, the sacrifice of letting go of that hope that some people are going to change and having to recognize that they do cause nothing but strife with you, and you need to mitigate how much energy you waste on these people. That is how you get the Six of Cup victory, right? Victory over your own emotions is how you stop allowing these people to feed off your emotions. You know, if you've got someone in your life who needs you to play the role of the bad guy all the time and it's killing you emotionally, you don't need to, just don't engage with them anymore. Don't talk to them anymore. Don't let them bother you anymore. People are going to be very probably pissy with me today because I'm not going to engage with nobody today. I'm going to, even though I can't leave my house, I am going to vision quest. I am going to just not allow them to affect my energy at all today by not engaging with them, because I do need a break from their energy. That's a hard choice to make. It's a hard choice to make, to just stop engaging with these people, because you love them and you want them to do good and you want everybody to be happy. I know that's my biggest thing. Yeah, I know, Magical. You're going through the very similar thing. Well, this is the Six of Rods. It's a victory card. It's usually the victory. That's coming back out into your own sun. That's finding the sun for yourself and making those hard choices so that you can go back to being what you're passionate about. But also here at the end is sometimes conflict is unavoidable. It's not that it's unavoidable. It's just that it will happen. And whether you choose to engage in the conflicts anymore or not is the hard decision that you need to make. Let's switch it up. I'm going to go with a traditional tarot deck today, huh? I got this beautiful deck from my friend Lee Carney the other year. It's Tarot of the Old Path, and it's just a more traditional looking deck. She owns a store, I believe, in Missouri. I'll have to look it up so that way I can throw her a shout out. So if anybody's in her area, you can go see her. Oh, see, I love it. Sometimes it does work out. Sometimes if you just keep speaking your truth, sometimes they do see it. But it took a long time. Max was talking about how she had a major breakthrough in her family last night or this morning. And that's nice. I mean, there is people in my family who have woken up as well, and they do recognize the family cycles and whatnot, and then that's more important. You got to be able to focus on the people who are willing to adapt and change. It's beautiful. Honestly, most of the people in my life who listen to me the most are the kids. The teenagers and the 20-year-olds, man, they're waking up so much, and it's so nice because it's so much easier for people who wake up young. Those of us who don't wake up until we're in our 30s, it's a harder of a transition for us than it is. And then you got to understand that those people that are in their 50s and stuff like that, the chances of them actually waking up that old without something major league happening, I'm gonna message Lee later and ask her, and I'll tell you guys what the store's name and where it is. I believe she's in Missouri or Michigan. I'm not sure, but it's right over there. All right. So we got these conflicts, but we want this victory and to follow our passions. What does the tarot have to say? All right, I might just have to do a regular. How I deal out the playing cards with the fallouts like that, the jumpers, is different than I do how I do the tarot decks. I feel like you guys are about to get my personal reading out of my own damn cards, and I usually do not read for myself. But like I said, when I do the donation readings where I do if somebody sends me a donation, my PayPal, and asks me a question, I will do a video reading for you guys on here, but you have to be willing to let me post it publicly so that everybody can get the message, right? So right over the Three of Cups, we have the focus on your tribe, but then we have the Four of Pentacles right under it. And this is the Four of Pentacles is the be mindful that you're not being a miser. Taking care of your needs first always is important, but it's like somebody who has $1,000 in their pocket and then a homeless person, is outside or whatever, and they ask for change, spare change, and you get it. Don't be that energy. Don't be that energy. But don't give until it's detrimental to you, of course. This is about stability. Stabilize the difference between being generous, right? Because right after that, with the conflict card, so this is the conflict card, and right underneath it is the super generous card. Now, what happens is when you go from being super generous to you realize people are taking advantage of you, that can cause some conflict too. So having these two right next to each other is really a balance between being generous and being used. This is literally what caused all my drama last night. Is I put my foot down on being used, but then it turns out I wasn't being used. Somebody else just gaslit the whole situation into something that it wasn't. Six of Wands. This is the Wise One, or also known as the Hermit card. So this is right over the Vision Quest and the Victory card. So this is, if you are more spiritually awakened and you are more aligned and you want to keep yourself in line, you need to be the wise one in your situations. You need to protect your fire, protect your transformation, keep nurturing what you are working towards, and then just protect what you need protecting when you feel like you are stuck in the cold, right? Keep focusing and nurturing on, see, like it's even got like a little waterfall going on here and a river that spreads out. Keep focusing on the areas that you are making extreme growth in. I mean, I know it's mostly personal growth, but like I said, a lot of the stuff that's going on with these shifts in the world right now are all about personal growth. And for every light worker that is making these huge strides in personal growth, you have a counterpart who is not. There's usually someone in your life who is not. And you can't focus on those people. He is not focused on the snow and everything around him. He is focused on who is transforming, what brings him passion, and how this is going. Right? King of Pentacles. King of the earthly domain, he's disciplined. He could be disciplined and he could be a little over controlling. So be mindful of being over controlling. Just because you see and hear more doesn't give you the right to manipulate and control other people but do be in control of your own energy and your own reality. You're creating your own reality. What you choose to engage in, what you don't choose to engage in is all up to you. This is all about physical reality with the earth energy here, right? It's also about money. You are in control of your money and you need to put your foot down. That's what that whole balance, the generosity versus being a miser type of energy. You want to be fair, but you do not want to be taken advantage of. You want to be in control of at least those aspects without controlling other people. I got the karma reversed here under the Ace of Wands. So it's like following your passion. Can't focus on people who will not solve their own karma, right? And if you do not want to carry that karmic debt that they're causing you now into the next life or pass it on to the next generation, we all need to learn how to let go of the fact that some people are just not going to cycle out of that. That's the sacrifice, is letting go of those that will not necessarily letting them go, but recognizing the fact that some people did not come here to break karmic debts, but we did. So you just focus on your own. Because right after that is the Three of Swords over the major conflict card. So she's crying while these two are fighting in the back here. And that's kind of what I deal with. I'm kind of just in the crossfires. Last night I was just in the crosshairs of someone else's karmic cycle debt that these two have been going through since childhood. And you just got to be mindful of when it's time to say, I'm dropping the sword. I can no longer mitigate you two anymore. Go back there and kill each other if you want to. I'm done. It hurts? Yes. Is it hurt? Yes. Do we like conflict? No. No light worker or energy worker or anybody who's trying to balance their chakras enjoys conflict at all, right? And it hurts to have to walk away. If they're going to insist on fighting all the time, that's the sacrifice. The sacrifice is being able to walk away from other people's conflicts and just realize that they're not going to hear you. Messages only reach who they are meant to reach. And those who are not willing to receive the messages, they're never going to hear it. They're never going to hear it. Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, what are we going to do? You're going to sit there and keep screaming, stop, stop, stop. If they want to fight, they're going to. They're creating their own reality too. So, and they only see it from their perception. And these people who are constantly fighting are the chronic victims. They're the chronic victims and they need a bad guy. And especially light workers, they love to trigger you out of a benevolent state. They love to get you upset and try to prove that you're not as wonderful as you think you are. And it's like, like we don't think we're wonderful. Nobody's trying to be cocky. I mean, it's not about ego for us. It's about trying to love everybody, especially people who are difficult to love. And, like I said, that's a sacrifice. Sometimes you have to recognize. Sometimes you just have to recognize that the chronic victim will always be the chronic victim. Those are the ones that say things like when you try to express how you feel and how they're making you feel bad, they turn around and go, well, you're upset. I should be upset. This is what happened to me. I should be upset, but I'm not. I'm not upset, but I should be more. And it's like you're just sitting there going, did you hear anything I just said? Did you hear any of the words that just came out of my mouth? Because you completely brushed over everything I said and somehow made it about you still. Oh, yes, the Eeyores. And I love Eeyore. And I love the whole premises of Christopher Robin's neighborhood, the 100-Acre Wood, because the characters in that show have some sort of mental disorder, and they all still hang out with each other and still have a good time. And that's your soul tribe. Oh, man, my soul tribe is totally characters out of that show. I call it all the time. I've got a rabbit. I've got a Tigger. I bounce between Tigger and Eeyore. But the difference is they don't pick each other apart. Eeyore is allowed to come play and nobody gets on him for being Eeyore. Tigger's allowed to come play and they try to get him to calm down, but in the end they realize that that's Tigger's superpower and they don't, they still let him come play. And it's being able to stay with your soul tribe that everybody can still get along, even though we all have our own special, issues. Rabbits OCD, piglets anxiety, Pooh just floats through the world. Oh, bother. But see now, Eeyore's depressed, but he doesn't put it on everybody else. He shows up and he'll, he doesn't put it on everybody else. That's the difference. They don't put their issues on other people. And that's the trick. Those are the tribe that you need to follow. The ones that recognize all their own shit, but, they don't put their shit on you. And they don't blame you for their problems. That's a big one. Whew. Alrighty. We'll do the recaps. So, we got the masquerade this morning, and we got the sacrifice. And just with all the energies that I'm going through right now and with the rest of this reading, the masquerade is you don't want to have to wear a mask anymore. You definitely don't want to pretend to be being something that you're not. And you don't want to have to fake your way through all your situations in life. So it's finding a balance between, wearing a mask and not wearing a mask, and you don't want to wear a mask anymore. And it's also about recognizing those who are putting on a whole masquerade show around you, right? Those who, their personality changes from person to person. That person who's always talking smack about everybody is usually talking smack about you. They're the ones that are planting those seeds of dissent. You got to recognize who's wearing the mask too. Sacrifice. Sacrifice is being able to recognize the deceivers for who they are and being able to let go of the fact that some people are just going to refuse to change. That they're too whatever. They have decided. Everybody gets to decide. We all get to make a decision on whether we're going to keep doing this or not. And the sacrifice is kind of like the never-ending story where the horse gets stuck in the swamp of despair and he can't pull him out and there's nothing he can do about it. And the sacrifice is being able to have to walk away but keep walking, keep standing, and keep moving forward. Desert Quest. Vision Quest. This is all about taking space and taking time for yourself and really attaching to and calling out to the universe and your ancestors and your spirit guides to help and guide you through this. Last night, while I was upset and everything else like that, I just chanted. I chanted to the goddess and I chanted to my angels to just protect me and get me through this night. Just protect me and get me through this night. Just protect me and get me through this night. Because I was seriously depressed last night. So don't be afraid to lean on them. That they came here to do this. They've decided to follow you and be with you through your journey because they want to. Creed song just popped into your head. I love Creed. I haven't seen them in forever. I saw them at Jones Beach when I was a teenager. So this is, definitely. Focus on you, your vision, where you're going in your life, and keep your focus on what you are creating for you, and don't allow these conflicts to do that. You got the lotus flower. It said a lotus cannot bloom in a garden made for a rose, but lotuses only bloom through the mud and the muck and the water. So sometimes the reason your path is so difficult is because the universe knew that your spirit was going to have to go through that mud and that muck and the pressure, the water of your emotions and traveling through all that in order to unfold into your best possible self. If you never had to overcome anything, you would never know how strong you are. But at some point, if you are not blooming, you have to realize that you're in the wrong garden. Three of Cups. Focus on those that are more, your friends and family and your teammates, if it's a job, your teammates, and those that you do collaborate well with and work well with, focus on them. Don't focus on those that cause conflict, those that cause you to feel loss and regret all the time. Those that are constantly putting you in a situation and triggering you, and then you're regretful the rest of the day. You got to figure out who's your team And who's not in your team just pretending to be in your team. And that's how you will get victory. You'll get victory when you realize and you see who is who's wearing a mask, who's not wearing a mask. That is how you get the victory. And then it's time to make the hard decisions of how much you choose to engage and how much you choose to feed these connections. Because if they're not doing their share of the work and they're not trying to adapt and change and break these cycles, then you need to choose not to engage with them anymore and continue to follow your passion. And now that's going to probably cause conflict still, because when you stop engaging, that causes conflict too, because that makes them try even harder to cause the conflict. So you just really, like masquerade, you need to figure out who's putting on that mask, who's the one who always has to present themselves benevolent in every situation, but point out everybody else's problems, but they never work on their own. You know, you got to find the source of the conflicts. Don't be a miser. Don't be too generous. Balance out these two energies, right? You don't be a miser to the point where nobody likes you anymore because you're being a stuck-up snob about stuff, but don't give so much that it's detrimental to you, right? Focus on what you're working on. Fire and the butterfly under his cape there, the water flowing, his emotions freely being able to flow. He is focused, his feet grounded on the earth, barefoot. Little baby rabbit there. Focus on the spring coming. Focus on your transformation, your passions, your true emotions, and ground yourself to protect yourself from these energies. You are the emperor of your domain. You are in control of your vessel. You are in control of your money. You are in control of your surroundings. You should have those spaces for yourself. And you should be seizing on that power and that earth energy. And it's also all about grounding. Karmic cycles. We did come here to clear out these karmic debts, but understand not every debt is yours to clear. Some people need to clear their own with their own shit, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do if those people choose to continue to keep engaging in these cycles. You just need to step back and let them ride that out. You focus on you. You focus on passing down the information to those who can hear it, and try to at least work on, like you said, the next generation. The next generation does not have to have these same exact cycles. It's up to you to just plant those seeds to say, you know, it doesn't always have to be this way. It wasn't always this way. And it doesn't have to be this way forever. You know, it's all who decides to engage and who doesn't. If people decide to engage in these karmic loops with each other and never resolve it, you just got to let them, guys. You just got to let them. You just got to be this one. They're going to insist on fighting all the time, and they're going to insist on running this loop over and over and over again. Sooner or later, you need to realize when you need to drop your sword and you need to, you know, you need to go. You need to, you're breaking my heart too much. I cannot deal with watching you guys fight all the time anymore, and I need to go. I know, it's beautiful energy in here. I feel better already. I'm so glad I didn't bail out on this morning. You guys are awesome. But I don't mind sharing I have hard times, because I think that helps you guys realize that I'm just a regular person too. And look what we got for our magic cards. You want to know what they are? Perseverance. The motivation to keep doing it despite the odds. There we go. If you guys want to draw that on a sigil today, I think I may make a crystal grid just to the sigil today. Perseverance. Motivation to keep going despite all the odds. Can't even make this stuff up sometimes. Even my cards crack me up. Safe and happy travel. Protection from harm when we are journeying on these paths of enlightenment. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. Here is a sigil for safe and happy travel if you are traveling today, or if you are just on your spiritual path. Here is a sigil to help protect you for safe and happy travel. Water. Work with the element of water for healing, purification, and refinement. Sure enough, last night before bed, guess what I did? I did a shower ritual. I got in there, I cried, I chanted, I talked to my spirit guides, I released all of that toxic stuff. I know I'm still puffy from all that crying, but I do feel better. I do feel better. So work with the element of water. I like to go. I mean, I miss my old streams in New York and stuff like that. Go put your feet in some water somewhere if you can today. If not, use your bathtub, use your shower. You got to get creative, got to think outside the box. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Whew. Oh, I have 41 minutes and 34 seconds. Shout out to my 143 Soul Tribe. 143 was the beeper code for love when I was coming up. So that is our love tribe. I love you guys so much. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. Thank you all for being here this morning. I do appreciate y'all. As always, for those who are new, if you like my videos, please like, share, subscribe, spank my bell. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a magical day.